Did you know that J.K. Rowling was jobless, broke, and rejected by a dozen publishers before Harry Potter ever saw the light of day? It's almost impossible to imagine now with her books on shelves all over the world. But her journey started in a place of deep uncertainty and struggle. She was facing not just professional rejection, but personal hardship too. Her life was at a crossroads, and the odds were stacked against her. Imagine having an idea you believe in so deeply, but the world keeps telling you, no, not good enough. That was Rowling's reality. Every time she sent out her manuscript, she was met with another no, another closed door. It's the kind of rejection that can make even the most passionate person question themselves. But Rowling held on to her vision, even when it felt like no one else could see it. She spoke about this at her Harvard commencement address, and let me tell you, it's not just a story about wizards and magic. It's a story about pushing through doubt, your own and everyone else's. Rowling's speech wasn't just for aspiring writers, it was for anyone who's ever felt like giving up. She reminded us that the path to success is rarely straight or easy. Rowling said she was as poor as it is possible to be in modern Britain without being homeless. She lived in a tiny apartment, struggling to pay bills, sometimes unsure where her next meal would come from. The world outside her window was gray and uncertain, and her future felt just as cloudy. She was a single mom, scribbling stories in cafes while her daughter slept beside her. Those moments, stolen between caring for her child and worrying about money, became the birthplace of Harry Potter. She wrote not in comfort, but in the midst of chaos and exhaustion, driven by a hope that her story could make a difference. Some nights she barely scraped by. The fridge was nearly empty, and the bills kept piling up. But even in those darkest hours, she clung to her dream, using her imagination as a lifeline. She found magic in the ordinary, and that magic kept her going. But she kept writing, not because she thought she'd be famous, but because telling that story was her way out. Writing was her anchor, her escape, and her act of hope. She poured her heart into every page, not knowing if anyone would ever read it. And even as rejection letters piled up, she didn't let them define her. Each no was painful, but it didn't stop her. She learned to see rejection as part of the process, not the end of the road. Every letter was a reminder that she was still in the game, still fighting for her story. Rowling talks about the fringe benefits of failure. She says hitting rock bottom meant she could finally stop pretending and start working on the one thing that mattered to her. Failure stripped away everything unimportant, leaving her with a clear sense of purpose. It was in that clarity that she found the courage to keep going. What's wild is, the world almost never got to read Harry Potter. If she'd listened to her doubts or to the publishers saying no, she'd never have changed millions of lives, including her own. The books that now inspire generations were once just a stack of pages that almost no one wanted. But she didn't quit. She embraced her fear and kept moving forward line by line, chapter by chapter. So what's the takeaway? Doubt is normal. Failure is normal. The only thing that isn't normal is giving up on yourself before you've even started. But giving up, that's the only way you actually lose. Every setback is a lesson. Every failure a stepping stone. The real magic happens when you refuse to let setbacks stop you, when you get up one more time than you fall. Rowling's story proves that your lowest point could be the foundation of your biggest comeback. You just have to keep going, even when no one else believes in you yet. Sometimes the belief you need most is your own. Remember, every journey worth taking is filled with obstacles. The people who succeed aren't the ones who never fail. They're the ones who keep showing up day after day, no matter how hard it gets. If you're feeling stuck, remember, every great story starts with a little bit of struggle. The blank page is just the beginning, not the end. And who knows, maybe your story is the one the world's waiting to hear next. The only way to find out is to keep writing, keep dreaming, and never let doubt have the final word. If you found this inspiring, hit that subscribe button and stick around for more stories that'll move you to chase your dreams. Your next chapter could be just one decision away.